You don't like to think that your life is in jeopardy. You like to think that, you're invincible. But I think my life was in jeopardy.
People stress about this and stress about that. And I said, look, I've been close to dead, so there's nothing that can happen that's going to really affect me.
Think about all kinds of catastrophes in your mind, and yet when it happens, you just do what you got to do and you get out of the way when other people need to be in charge.
I tell people when I was 12 years old, I knew I wanted to be a tennis professional. I've just always loved the game, and it's just been my passion.
One of our first dates was playing tennis together, which didn't really go real well because I wasn't very good.
The day of my heart attack, I was here at Westwood. It was a Sunday. I was tired. I noticed a few times I was fatigued when I would be playing. I went home maybe 1 o'clock or so and had lunch. And as I finished, I was sitting at the table and I felt, just the pressure on the upper left side of my chest.
I was on the computer and he came up and told me that, and I'd never heard him say anything like that. And the minute we got to the hospital and he said anything about chest, they took us right back and started hooking him up to everything. And then at one point, one nurse turned to the other and showed her the monitor.
My heart rate was 70 or 77 and then went to 170, just like that.
It was surreal. I couldn't believe it. But then one of the nurses jumped on top of his chest and started beating him and yelling his name. And I knew we were in trouble. It felt like an eternity, but I think it was maybe 15, 20 minutes, and the nurse came back and got me and said, he's okay. She said we had to shock him back twice, but he's okay.
Sharon and I first met in second grade, and we went through school together. I asked her to the victory dance after the first football game our junior year, and we lost, so it wasn't a victory game, but I won because I had a date with Sharon. It was a pretty normal morning for me. I had an 11 o'clock bike ride that's pretty much of a standing thing. Got in the car, started back home, and I started feeling pressure, and I started feeling dizzy, and it began to get worse and worse. I had a new car, and I didn't know how to work all the gizmos on it. Fortunately, I was able to connect to the operator through voice communication, and I got the 911 operator, and she was just terrific, and she talked me through it. And then I remember hearing the siren coming, and
I think I realized something was really seriously wrong. And then with the other phone calls back and forth, I really thought he probably was not going to make it. But you did.
In Bill and Brian's case, that whole process from chest pain in their living room, calling 911, to a counselor to help them with cholesterol, their diet, all of those things along the spectrum of care are really what helped save Bill and Brian's life.
Wow, I think we had a better shot.
after the surgery, we had a different outlook on life. When we see our granddaughters, when we watch them grow, life is precious and we have a second chance.
I would have missed Colton graduating from high school. I would have missed Kyle and Kevin both graduating from UT.
It's real hard to think about, what our life would be like without him.
Oh, almost.
Mission Lifeline, which is bringing all of the players together, from the patient to EMS, hospital systems, rehab programs, all of them working in unison, is really one of the greatest things that the AHA provided us as a community.
I think with the Heart Association, just a great appreciation for everything that they do and trying to eliminate this killer.
It's just such a wonderful evolution of activities that we want to continue.
The likelihood of you surviving a heart attack continues to go up year after year. So educational efforts like those of the AHA are working.
I have this band, it says Hope, Faith, and Courage. Ever since I had my heart attack, I haven't taken off one day. People ask me, and so I tell them, what it is and what it stands for, and how, that whole thing changed my life.